What is up, everybody? This is NerdingOutSports, and today, breaking down week number 5, the preview Giants and Cowboys, our first division matchup of the year in the terrible, terrible NFC East, where the division leader is 1-2-1. And if the Giants win on Sunday, and both the Eagles and Washington lose, all 4 teams will have 1 win apiece 5 weeks into the season. That's so bad. However, let's look at where these two teams rank statistically. For the Giants, we know this offensively, terrible. 32nd in scoring, worse in the NFL. They're averaging less than 12 points a game, 11.8. That's bad. They're tied with the Jets for yards, 32nd in the NFL, 278 yards per game. That's not good. They're bad in the running department. They're 31st in the NFL in yards per game on the ground, 76. And they're 29th in passing. And they're 28th in time of possession. Bad. Just simply bad. Don't know what the excuse is. Is it Jason Garrett's play calling? Is it the fact that Saquon and Shepard are hurt? Evan Ingram hasn't really shown up yet. Is it the offensive line? They haven't really gelled. They did show a little bit progression last week. The offensive line was a little bit better. The running game was definitely a lot better. The receivers weren't. Jones looked good despite, the last play. He still looked pretty good last week. So hopefully they can take that small progression and carry it over into this one and keep getting better and actually be able to get the ball into the end zone. That would be nice. And if there was ever a week that they can do it, it's against this Cowboys defense that ranks 32nd in points allowed. They are the worst defense in the NFL. They give up 36 points a game, 430 yards, 172 yards on the ground. They're 31st against the run, and they're 23rd against the pass. They're giving up 258 yards per game through the air. The Cowboys are one of, if not the worst defense in the NFL, and the Giants are the worst offense in the NFL. So something has to give here. So we'll see who has the better week of the two. Hopefully it's the Giants, because as much as I want to see some progression, I also want to see a win, especially against a division opponent, especially against a team that we have not beat. So I want to beat the Cowboys. Just please win this game. Anyway, back to the stats. The Giants' defense has been pretty good. They are 12th in the league in scoring defense. They've given up 24 points a game. Not bad. Could be better. A lot of those were given up to San Francisco. They're averaging just allowing 328 yards a game. That's 5th best in the league. They're the 10th best rushing defense, giving up 106 yards per game. They've been really good the last 2 weeks against the run. And they're 6th in the league in passing defense, giving up 221 yards a game through the air. Even with the holes on this defense, they don't really have a number 2 cornerback. Peppers was out last week. McKinney hasn't played yet. The secondary really played well last week against a good Rams offense. And they'll be playing a very good offense this week. Dallas is 3rd in the league in points per game, averaging 31 points a game. That's very good. They're the best in the NFL in yards, 509 yards a game. They're the 25th rushing offense, which is interesting, but it's also kind of expected because they've been playing from behind so much. But they are the top team in the league in passing yards per game, averaging 407 yards a game through the air. That's impressive. But another weird statistic for them, they're 31st in time of possession. So that tells you that they're playing from behind a lot. They've only had the lead for, I think, 5 or 7 drives this year, which is really interesting. They've been playing from behind for most of this season. But at the same time, their offense is more than capable of coming back. If you don't have like a 20, 30 point lead against them, they can come back on you very quickly. So, if the Giants are to build some kind of a lead in the early going, the game is far from over. So, it's going to be a test. I know a lot of people are going to look at the Cowboys' numbers and say, yeah, it's because of garbage time scores and garbage time yards and all that stuff when the game was out of reach. But they can score. And Dak is having himself a pretty nice year statistically so far. 68% completion, almost at 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks. Zeke hasn't really even gotten it going yet he's still at 273 yards and 3 touchdowns. And because they're throwing the ball so much, Cooper, Gallup, and Lamb all having good years so far. Gallup has been the least used out of the 3. He only has 13 receptions. Cooper already has 37, and CeeDee Lamb has 21. Not to mention Dalton Schultz, their tight end. He's got 18 receptions and 2 touchdowns. So the Cowboys can move the ball. The Giants have to do what they did last week on offense and do it better. Control the clock, run the ball, keep Daniel Jones upright. If he has to run, give him some designed runs. Because he once again was the leading rusher last week, but I think maybe 4 or 5 of those runs were because he was escaping pressure. You know he has good legs. He can run the ball well. If you can't get guys open, design some plays that utilize his speed. The Giants are going to have to get creative because Barkley's not coming back this year. We know that. We don't know when we're going to get Shepard back. Can we keep relying on Evan Ingram when he hasn't really shown up? Same with Golden Tate. Darius Slayton's been a guy that the defense is just zero in on because he's their only weapon right now. So Jason Garrett's going to have to get creative. So it's a lot to ask for, a lot of ifs. If the Giants can move the ball, if they can stop Dallas's offense, if they can keep Daniel Jones upright, if he can stop turning the ball over, then yeah, the Giants can probably win this game. That's a lot of ifs, and it's a lot easier said than done. And if there's anything this year has told us is that nothing we can preview really matters when the game starts, because everyone thought the Giants would play a much better game against an injured San Francisco team, and that didn't happen. Dallas is going to be missing a few guys on the offensive line this week. Smith just went on IR. His season is done. So their offensive line is banged up. But like I said, as we learned against San Francisco, injuries don't seem to matter if you're playing the Giants because San Francisco went up and down the field on us and shut us down completely. So I just want to see the Giants play better, but I still want to see them win. I would love for them to go on the road and beat Dallas in their house. Can they do it? I sure hope so. It would be a nice thing, and hopefully Washington and Philly can also lose so we can all just marvel at how bad the NFC East really is. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Final score predictions. Who do you think is going to have the best day offensively for the Giants? Who do you think is going to be the key on defense? Give me your X factor on both sides of the ball. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will see you guys next time. Let's go Giants. Peace out.